So Germany is German is a very good side, not so big name players, but as a team and discipline-wise, they are very good. So in a whole tournament, they showed their talent. Defense-wise, midfield, forward, all the players they showed their talent and they maintained
Yes.
discipline also, game discipline.
Okay, first of all, I feel Germany has the edge over other teams. Their consistency, their ability to finish at the goal, and the clean sheet they have kept so far in the competition proves that they are the best contender for the championship.
I think people were quite surprised. I don't think it was as hot as people was expecting. Obviously, here in India, the boys at the TFA are experiencing playing it's 40, 45 degrees. Over in Brazil, I think the hottest it's been was 35, 36. So possibly they prepared for it. They knew what they was going to expect, and I don't think it's been such a factor. Anyway, the teams who haven't performed, I don't think they can blame the heat when it gets down to it. Spain didn't perform, but they possibly came to the end of the road. There was an ageing team. England should have done better. The two games that they lost in their group, they had more possession than the other teams, but didn't bring it round into the goals. Belgium done well, got through to the quarter-final. So a lot of European teams have gone a long way in the tournament. So I don't think we can say that heat has played a major factor.
Heat taking toll on the player. It's for everybody,
Yes.
for all the players. They are not. The heat is not going to
Yes.
spare the young players as well. So I think heat
Yes,
is for
yes.
everybody. So everybody have gone there prepared for the competition. So it's not
Yes.
about getting chance. It's about proving themselves. Everyone will be playing there. Everyone will be proving themselves. Like the heat is not taking toll only on some of the star players. It's for everybody.
And some others?
James Rodriguez is at Monaco at the minute, and I saw in the papers yesterday they've already put an £80 million or an €80 million price tag on him to try and frighten off some of the so-called bigger clubs. But Monaco playing the Champions League, so he is actually in one of the top 16 clubs. Some of the other young players who've shone for me are already at the big clubs. You've got Pogba, who's playing at Juventus, 21-year-old. The young centre-back for France, Varane, he's playing at Real Madrid already. So you're already finding that a lot of the young stars of the World Cup are actually already with the top teams in Europe at the minute. What we might see is some of the younger stars coming from Colombia or Chile who have come to the front this time, and possibly Ecuador, some countries what we don't normally see in the mainstream football side of things. We might see one or two getting a move into Europe, but that's where the scouting system comes in. The top clubs will have seen the players, will know the players before they've performed, and they'll just be waiting to see how they did perform on the bigger stage. Well, the African nations did actually very well in the last World Cup in Africa itself, and I think they were looking to go better this time. But the other smaller countries, such as your Costa Rica, Chile, Mexico, the teams who you wouldn't put in the top bracket, they've come to the fore this time, and it's been their turn to perform. So I think some of the African ones will be quite disappointed with the performances this time. Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Ghana, like you said, Nigeria. The players, when you look at the team sheets, a lot of their players are playing in the top leagues in Europe, and they've got the experience. So I think they'll be a little bit disappointed. But for me, the star teams have been the Costa Ricas, Chiles, Mexicos, who've just gone out and played without fear. I do think they will keep improving. The Americans, they came to the fore of it. The football took off in their country. Then it took a bit of a back seat. But it does seem to be coming back to the fore again in America. Like I said, a lot of the Africans players are playing in Europe, so they're getting regular competitive football at the highest level. And wherever they go, the world is getting smaller in whatever you do, whatever business you're in. So there's better training methods being adopted all over the world. People are borrowing people's training methods and not just concentrating on their own ideas. They are taking a little bit from Europe, a little bit from Asia, a little bit from Africa, and putting it all together. So we will see the standard of football in whatever nation start to rise, I think. Yes, it's very successful when you look. The top teams in England, Manchester City, Arsenal, they've all got African players. If you look across Europe, there'll be African players in the top teams playing in Spain, France, Germany, and that is success. They're going out, they're playing there, they're playing week in, week out, and coming back together. We don't know the ins and outs. Some of it. Ghana and the Nigerians, they've had unrest in the camp regarding financial difficulties and payments, and unfortunately we don't know to what extent that has upset them in the preparation. But if they get everything right, just with the playing ability and the physical attributes that Vijay spoke about earlier with the Germans, the Africans will be up there. They will be a force.
Nigeria, because most of the Nigerian players are played in European leagues, so that advantage as a country this time in World Cup they got very experienced sides, but due to they have very bad luck against I think one match 2-2 or something. So Nigeria really come in another 1 or 2 World Cup. I think Nigeria, Ghana, these teams are really capable to challenge these European sides, I think. So Nigeria is really impressed me very much.
In a way, yes, sir. Like the football needs to be glamorized in India. Many people don't follow football in India. There are pockets in India, like western part, Goa, northeastern states, and some of the southern states. Football is popular in only few states. To make it more global, or we can say, to popularize the even the game in India. So it has to be glamorized. Some kind of glamour has to be attached to the football. So ISL, the way they are planning these things, it looks like they are going to do it in a big way. So I hope it will help grow the popularity of football in India.
Last batch we had a very talented boy. Just now that boy passed out from TFA. Udanta Singh, very young and talented boy. I think, and in another 1 or 2 years, he will be a great star for in Indian football. So almost 70% participation of ex-TFA cadets in Indian football.
There is a selection procedure. all the coaches are placed in some tournaments. They go to tournaments and identify talent there, and we go and support the talent there. We bring them. It's a long process. We bring them here for a selection process. There are parameters which we look into. So, and the best ones out of maybe 200 or 1,000, 2,000 boys, we shortlist 20 players. It's a long and tedious process of selecting the best talents.
Yes.
It's a very good question. Obviously, we respect the culture and everything here, but I think that the culture is slightly different to what we come across in Europe. The culture here seems to be education. That's the first and foremost thought of all parents. The child needs to get educated. In Europe, physical education and sport is married hand in hand with education. At school, it runs alongside each other. So children get the choice, really. They're not forced down one lane of education. It's a choice, and people are now realizing that there is a very good life to be made in sports and not just education. And it's not just in England, it's all Europe. Here I still think, which is still very good, education is vitally important, but parents still do think that a child must be educated and forget all the sport. They must come home from school and they must study, they must study, they must study. But if they're doing sport and they're doing exercise, that gives them a release from the study. It gives them something else to focus on. So I think that enhances the studying process as well, and the studying ways. If you get the child playing a team sport or an individual sport as well, it introduces the focus on different things and discipline, what can also help improve the academic side of the life. So it is a case of marrying it together. The schools can help if we can get some sort of physical education and a more regular program going into the schools. I don't know exactly what it is, but in England I think it's something like 4 hours a week they have to do at least physical education alongside the studies. So that is alongside it as well.
Actually, sir, be realistic and set achievable targets, actually. Present ranking in the Asian football arena, Indian 28th number. So first we see in Asian level how we perform in Asian level, then only we can proceed to towards
you can
that
tell
level.
what 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, you can tell.
Yeah, we have actually Tata's have an academy. Tata last 27 we are doing for the country to develop Indian football, but it is not possible for academy to produce so many players. It is now duty for the all corporate sectors to open new academies in all over India. So then think about the Asian
Yes.
level. So it is very important that corporate sectors come forward to promote football in India, sir. Now
Mr. Walshaw, what is your opinion? Mr. Walshaw,
My
what is
opinion-
your opinion?
yeah.
I'm laughing now because my opinion is very much like Vijay's because he's copied my notes off the bottom of my sheet. But just an extra on there, as Vijay says, it's a case of setting realistic targets. And currently, India are 154th in the world. The highest ranked tournament at this World Cup final was Australia, who were ranked 61st. So there's still a massive gap between India and the lowest ranked country at the World Cup finals. But not saying it's not achievable, but it will be a long drawn out process. But like Vijay has just said, he's come up with a great point. The corporate world has got to get involved. People have got to make investment into the grassroots structure, not just one or two academies here and there. It's got to be nationwide. Hopefully, the 2017 Under-17 World Cup will be a massive boost. People will see the interest, and people will see that there is a target to achieve for the next 3 years. They're going to get automatic entrance into that level. So let's see where we go from there. Get people chucking money into it, developing the academies throughout the country in the football strongholds to start with, as Gumpe said, the North East, Goa. Let's develop it a little bit more there. And then, as the TFA do, we pick pockets around the country. You go to the Punjab, where it's the big, strong boys. Can we go and find the footballers there? So it's not unachievable, but it will take a long time, and we have to be realistic.